Hello, you're at your home, your happy place. I'm Debbie, and today I'm bringing you one of my favorite things and yours from your comments, and that's a tablescape. I love doing tablescapes. I do not know why. I feel like I've done them since I was first married. I just love plates. I love to see, I think the first time I went into a display home, and I don't know if everyone has those, but where I grew up, you would go into a subdivision considering to build there, and there would be typically 3 to 5 homes pre-built and decorated. And I'm sure that's really where I got my first love of decorating from. But it was staged. And at that time, 50, 60 years ago, there was no wording about staging. You didn't stage a house to sell. You just made sure it was clean. But obviously, over time, realtors and homeowners alike took a page out of the builders that were doing these developments out of their notes and started using some of their tips and tricks. And one of them was having tables set. So it does, okay, so we've been eating at this table a little bit more. I told you, typically my husband and I, for dinner, will often do dinner and a movie. And so we sit in our family room. But in the summer, we eat outside a lot. Right now, the heat is so intense that lunches often will be inside. So we eat at the little bar, or our breakfast too, we'll sit here. And so while those plates that I set out are perfectly fine for eating on, there's nothing wrong. We typically just scoot those aside and put our plate and eat, and then we put it back and everything looks pretty again. So it's just the way I am. Not everybody does that. Some people do it just with their dining room because it's a table less used. But that's what we're doing today, and I am so excited to bring you these vibrant colors for fall that, I sit and looked at the things that I sent you last year. I didn't really send you my meltdown, but you could still find it. It was my very first fall haul probably of last year. I didn't put that in my marathon, and I was just kicking and screaming going into fall. And I really didn't I'd go out shopping and I was not inspired and I couldn't pick a color story. It took me quite a while. Whereas this year, it just came to me and I'm so excited. So the foundation in here is simply the table. So we're going to start, as always, this is my table. It's seated for 4. It can expand out. I'm going to start with one of my tried, true, and old table runners. This one is, it's Tommy Bahama. You never know when you're at TJ Maxx and stuff. They just have a label on them. So this one's Tommy Bahama. So that it is a deep, I guess a rust color maybe. You can tell. I think it's true on there. It is velvet. On the correct side, and then the stitching in this one, so I love these. They're just one tone, and the stitching is the entire design, but it's so subtle, so it doesn't compete with anything in your table. So this one has pumpkins and branches with leaves and berries, acorns, and that's about it. So I'm just going to pop that on the table here, and we'll begin building the tablescape. I think this is maybe a 72-inch. Always check, especially at TJ Maxx. They'll often have, or HOMEGOODS, they'll often have different sizes. So, if I want something that's going to cover the entire table when I've got it set out, I need like 102. I may have used these on my last summer tablescape, but you can see they're nice and stiff. They're like a starchy type of burlap material, and they're beaded. These are by Martha Stewart, and I did get them on Amazon. I kind of think they came in a set of 6. So yeah, if it's true that I used these, and I think I did, this is another way where you can say it's so simple. You don't even have to, you know, I could have used my navy plates as a backdrop, although those are smaller ones. If I had bigger navy ones, I might have. And so how you can transfer from season to season and just change a couple elements on a table. Layer 3. So for me, layer 1, I did a blog post years ago called 7 Layers of Tablescapes. So for me, it is a runner, which is layer 1, and then the placemat, layer 2. Charger is layer 3. And you've seen them already. Oh my goodness, I am in love with these. Hobby Lobby, they came in sets of, they came in 2 colors. So I picked the darker color. I don't know if there's a color name on it. Somebody asked in my haul, it would have been nice to have prices. And normally I do that. I think I told her I think I was in a hurry. So the price is still on the back of this one. So it was a $5.99, but these were in a place where they were 40% off. So you figure it out, $6 minus 40%. This is $2.40 off. So anyway, I think that's reasonable, especially when I go back and look at what I kind of figured out this week, why Pier 1 went out of business. Because I was looking at some napkin rings and they were $5.99 each. And the most they'd ever do pretty much was a 20% off. So that's a lot for one napkin ring. And you know, I've had chargers in here, and we're talking almost 10 years ago. These chargers were like $25 a piece. So that's why they probably went out of business. We all love them. We loved them. But Hobby Lobby definitely has better prices. And I'm thrilled with this. So at first look, I don't know, you could get really discouraged. Oh my gosh, what am I doing? This looks so feminine and this looks so masculine. These don't even go together. Ooh. But you know what? You just keep playing. I didn't think that. I'm just thinking it now because I want to help people and I think of what somebody's objections could be. And for those of you, this is a startling point. We brought up how someone had mentioned that I needed to replace my cushions outside. This is what I love about color this is the color of my cushions outside. It is a rust-colored orange, and I usually tell you I can't stand that color, but it is a complementary color of blue, and when you're in the same hues, this is a deep orange, basically, and a deep blue. They look absolutely gorgeous together. I don't know that you've ever seen the plates we actually eat off every day, and I did just move them. For the last 2 or 3 years, we haven't been here 3 years. I just lose track since we moved in while it was still being built. I don't really have a start date, but we'll just go with 2 years. In the last 2 years that we've lived here, we've eaten off of the same everyday plates, and I just moved them up because they're white. But they do have a impressed pattern on them. It's a white on white pattern. But I basically have a very similar one in another color. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I bought these at Target so many years ago. I love the color. It says it's a Thompson pottery. And that's all I can see there. But so you see, I'm still keeping a little bit of my coastal, but it's so subtle. Nobody's going to know. But what I love about these plates is that brown that's just stuck on there that makes them, you know, once I start putting that with the leather, it's really going to pop that out. And it's a beautiful backdrop for the beautiful little plates I picked up that we'll put on next. If you missed my Hobby Lobby haul, it was more than that. It was Kirkland's and Michael's. But these are the luncheon plates that I bought. There's two colors. So this one has 3 pumpkins on it. And this one has 2. I want to make sure I caddy corner these so that they're not, it looks like half the table is one pumpkin. And this particular plate has quite a bit of brown, and it is that color. I mean, this to me is so stunning. I just love it. I love it. And then here's the one that has less, but it's still, because it's deeper here, it's still pulling out a lot of the darker pieces. And then the navy pops off based on the back of this and the fact that this is lighter. If everything had been dark, I'm not real sure. I don't have anything. I mean, here, just quickly, I like to experiment. Let's just pretend you just had that on a navy plate. It's pretty. It is pretty, but honestly, I think, especially with the fact that there's this little bit of brown in here, that's much, much more interesting and causes the plate to really pop. My napkins weren't new, but I did buy them this year, probably in spring, I think. Well, I don't know, maybe they were even last year. I think these were from Hobby Lobby, but I've cut off tags, so they could have also been, they sell these very similar ones on Amazon. So I will link those below. So then I'm going, if you saw the box of leather napkin rings I bought at Hobby Lobby. So I'm just gonna, I've got these folded like that, and I'm just gonna roll them up. And then I'm gonna wrap this around. All right, there it is. It's kind of like a little bow, but it's not. So I wanted the fringe going down, and I wanted this going down, because if I had done it backwards, it just wouldn't have been very pretty, I don't think. I lost count on my layers. Table runner, placemat, charger, dinner plate, luncheon plates, that's 5. And I'm thinking that the napkin ring, or the napkin and the napkin ring, make it 7. So that's kind of where I go, because your napkins don't have to be set apart. They can be a part of the plate setting, like under the plate, things like that. I remembered some flatware I had, and so I went downstairs because I knew it was in my husband's bar, and again, I have no idea. I used to find a lot of this stuff at Target. I don't think Target carries stuff like this anymore. So pretty. I'm trying to see if you can see it here somehow. I hope you can see it. Anyway, it's wood. It's a beautiful piece. It's a lovely, nice weight. I'm gonna set these out, and we'll get the goblets. Okay, I just had a cast iron trivet fall from thigh or hip high down. Oh my goodness, it hurts. And hit my ankle. Not my foot, but my ankle, then fell off. This is the second time in a week and a half that I've had something fall and hit that same foot. Oh, I have ice wrapped around it at the moment, you guys. Because the show must go on. Anyway, so in case I'm not as bubbly, you'll not understand why. I thought about there's so many options, but I really wanted to pull. I know it's not navy, but you can get away with a lot of different, not aqua blue. Aqua blue would not have worked on here, turquoise blue, but cobalt blue is close enough to navy that it really does, it perks up the table. So we've built an absolutely beautiful table setting or place setting, but now it's time to add the art to the table, and that's going to be building a table centerpiece, which if you've followed me for a long time, you know sometimes I struggle with. I just grabbed things and over the course of several days, I kept adding to where I ended up with this. And I'm telling you, I'll stop each along the way and show you this was the first, then I added this, and I'll let you know how I did it. So when I bought these last year, this is what I had in mind. I thought I would have them layered on the table. In fact, I have 4 of them, so I was going to layer it. I still could layer it even further, but I ended up putting them on my mantle instead. And so this year, I just thought, I really wanted something. There's a lot of green in there, which I'm not using. I'm astounding myself. Last year, I was all about green, and I'm not doing this intentionally. It's just not showing up in the navy. But there's no navy in this. So this is more of a grounding base. I need to fix that. I've only got one hand, so I'll fix it. This is a grounding base for what I'm going to do on top. Next, I saw this in my treasures. It might have been something I got new last year, but I remember showing it. So it's very soft and spongy. It's velvety, and I really liked the color. It wasn't screaming yellow. It's definitely gold and quiet. And so this is what I did with it. And it's not used to this now. There we go. And I was done. So that was my first stopping point. And honestly, that's beautiful and it's enough. But I didn't stop. Next, I thought, would it be nice? And I tried something else. It was much too high. But I did find this, and this is not something you've seen yet. This was in the Hobby Lobby fall, so this is also 40% off. It was so reasonable. So $7.99, so $8 with 40% off. That's $1.60 off of $8. It's very lightweight too, and then there's little wooden legs. It also provides a nicer stability for the pumpkin, and it's just the right size. So there I was, and then I stopped. Next I thought, okay, I've got no navy in there though. I'd really like to pull a little navy in. So I looked at these. I love the texture. This is burlap, little orange stitching, metal. Not quite copper, I guess a bronzy leaf. So I decided to do that. But I had 4 of them. So I kind of stuck one out on the side here and over here. And I like the touch of navy it added. And I thought I was done. And then yesterday, because we were having a birthday party, I was like, I still had stuff sitting out. Like, where's this gonna go? Where's this gonna go? And I had a stash of candles. And I thought, okay, well, I'll just add them to the table. So here we go. Last fall, I bought at least 3 pairs. So they had them in this color, and then another one that was a little more reddish, and then one that was a little more orange. And as you can see, this is almost the same color. What I was kind of confused by last year were these, because they looked so Christmassy. And these are definitely fall colors. But today, or yesterday, I just discovered you can just pull those right on out. And so, let me tell you whatever the scent is of this one, if I can read it. Let's see. Because they probably have them again this year, or they will. Pumpkin spice. All right, and I don't remember. I feel like they were $7 last year for each one, which is a really good price. And by the way, I am not throwing these away. Whether I decide to put them back on there or on another candle, because all they did was they have a little piece of burlap string, so you could use ribbon and do that. But you could do it to so many things. This is wire in here. So you could twist this around a candle ring, or you could put it around a lamp. It definitely would work on as a napkin, you know, in addition to your napkin. You could add it to wreaths. I mean, something this small would look pretty in a soap dish with the soap on top of it. There's so many ways. So I will not be tossing this. So let's take a closer look. I hope this is stirring up those creative juices for you. Share with me what your color story, color palette is gonna be for fall, if you know. And where are you gonna start? Do you start outside? Do you start indoors? Do you do it all at once? I'm interested in all of that, and I love it when you share with me what you're up to. I'm excited that my next video, I think, is going to be a little different, but it will hopefully feed the inspiration for your fall designs. And I'm gonna see you on Friday. You guys make your home your happy place. And thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, I would love a like. for sure. And comment if you can. And otherwise, I just appreciate you. My links will be below. It helps support my channel when you shop my links, so I thank you very much for that. And make your home your happy place. I'll see you next time. Bye.